My first sale, every time I start a company, I do a startup, the first sale is your team. I know it's gonna be an unpopular opinion. Don't hire young people, because sometimes it's like it's not that they're doing it wrong. It's just that they need to understand that is it that hard?
When you are either running a business or starting up, if you don't have the knowledge to say write in LangChain or to understand different blockchains, I know your perspective is that you like to just learn and use AI. Do you suggest that that's what other people do to get their team to upskill, or do you think outsourcing for that role makes more sense?
Both. Honestly, like for me, usually I get a core team with the core knowledge of the business. But then there's a lot of things like DevOps or even like the website. There's a lot of things that probably once you know what you want to do, they don't add that much value. Mm-hmm. So having like I've been in different startups, and some of them they wanted to do everything on their own. I was in one startup. We started 20 people. When I left, we were more than 200 people. But then I felt that we could do the same. Like with 20, we were like creating as much software as with 200 almost. So, so I would say like keep your core business inside, outsource everything else, everything that you can outsource, because it's not vital to your business model, just if you can do it. Otherwise, like teams, they get really big and then you become like really inefficient.
Fantastic.
So I just wanna ask something about that, because like you're obviously, you have a big tech background, right? Like how is that for non-technical founders? Because bringing in knowledge in-house also means that you need to vet like your CTO or your first 3-4 devs. That's hard if you're having not technical experience.
Yeah, you need someone. I think like I've seen like in the venture studio, we launched different startups. Some of them they never got a CTO at the beginning, as it was not that important, and they had the hardest time by not having someone at least. Because even if I outsource technology, I need to have someone that understands how to outsource technologies. I cannot outsource technology because I know what I want. So I tell you, Thomas, I need this. This is the way I want it, and maybe sometimes they're going to tell me, no, this is going to take 2 weeks, and it's not. That's 2 days, and you know that. So that kind of experience helps a lot. And I think you need that. And for me, like, there was a question like I think you made me like something really important is like my first sale. Every time I start a company, I do a startup, the first sale is your team. And going from this proof of concept to an MVP, you need I think for the MVP, you need a CTO. So the proof of concept will help you sell to the CTO.
Fair. Yeah, you need something from a business direction. I think a POC can help with that, right?
Exactly.
Like it can visualize. Yeah, I absolutely agree.
But then with that, you can sell to your team, and you don't need a big team, but I think management, organization, and finance and technology, it's not that much. But I always recommend having someone with experience. And I know it's going to be an unpopular opinion. Don't hire young people.
Don't hire young people.
No, hire young people.
Okay, so like, why?
First, of course, like lack of experience.
Fair.
They're not that humble. Of course, we've all been young, and we were not humble as we are right now. So because you have not felt that, and you need to feel a lot to be humble. And drama. Sometimes, like everything, it's a big drama for them. Young people is like, because everything is about them. And senior people usually like, I think we're stronger in that sense.
So you would argue, but that I assume that's for your core team, right? Like I assume
core team, always like core team.
Yeah. If you build out your team, you can probably add junior developers or mid developers in there. Just for your core team, you want stable.
Not at the beginning, because if you hire, there's a lot of really good junior people, but with startup, it means that you need to tell them what to do, and to help them and to teach them. That's a lot of time you don't have.
Yeah.
So having really young people with no experience means that you're going to spend a lot of your time that you have to be raising, marketing, doing a lot of stuff. Telling this guy, no, this is a loop. This is how you look. No, this is not going to work because like wallets work like that. So things that for me, they're really basic. So
So if I would flip it around, I would say like, okay, because there's a lot of these technical young startup founders, right? Like we see them a lot when we work with accelerators, and these guys are like between 20 and 25, maybe coded for a couple of years. So what would you advise them? Because they're generally like, young, eager, relatively technical, I would say. So find an older, more experienced person in your team that is more on the business side, or actually more on the tech side, or both, maybe.
Both, because that can help a lot. And honestly, I've seen people like that, 25, 24, and they're really good on the tech side.
Yeah.
But then it's like, oh no, I'm the CTO because I'm the best tech guy ever. And first, you're not. And second, being a CTO, it's not about knowing technology. It's about managing a team.
Yeah.
And managing providers and being able to choose the best provider for what you do, whatever it's like, cloud or whatever.
Yeah.
Outsourcing, being able to find the right team to outsource. And that's a lot of things that they have nothing to see with technology. It's about experience. It's about, how you can handle and manage people. Usually, me, myself, I'm really good at the beginning because I charge with everything and just move forward. But then I don't like much managing people. So that's why I have a CTO who's better than me at managing people.
Yeah. So you can focus on building. Yeah.
I can really resonate with that. It made me realize something. So when I first started my second business, we got our biggest contract, which was like a huge government website project, and it needs to be built on Umbraco, and we were like WordPress guys. We had no idea about Umbraco in the slightest. Most of our developers were PHP or JavaScript. So we won the contract anyway, because we knew we could bring someone in to do the back end part. And we hired a guy that was about 10 years older than all of us, because we were all in our kind of early to mid 20s. And having him on board, he helped us realize, like we were saying earlier, the stuff we didn't know. Yeah. And also what stuff we thought we didn't know that we didn't need to know, that we thought we needed to learn. Like we thought there were so many things we were missing. Like, we need to learn this, we need to do this. And he's like, no. All that stuff's bullshit. Ignore all that. You don't need that. This is what we need to focus on. Because we had a lot of imposter syndrome. So then when you've got imposter syndrome, you feel like you need to build everything perfectly. And he was able to point out the parts where, as you grow up, you know that quite a lot of stuff, as you were saying, like it might be fine to build a situation, have an email come through and do it manually. Like, we were always thinking you had to build everything automated and perfect the first time. It's like, nah. I was seeing him build web forms, and like, you can't really, that's not the way you do it. You've got like 20 years of experience. It's like, yeah, that's the way I do it. And it's the right way. And I'm like, oh, it learned so much. So I do agree. Getting someone older than you in a core team can help you learn stuff you didn't even realize you needed to learn.
Yeah.
But that means that you want to listen. That's not always the case with young people.
Yeah. Well, there you go. There's another tip for young founders. Listen to your elders.
Well, get someone with experience there, someone you can talk to at some point. I usually, for startups, I call it the beer guy. Someone that at some point they can call me and we can have a beer. And because sometimes it's like, it's not that they're doing it wrong. It's just that they need to understand that is it that hard?
Yeah.
So having someone to talk to with experience that went through that before you. When I say like, you entrepreneur, you're losing your friends. It's not that you're losing your friends. It's that basically your area of interest is changing. It's not that you're losing your friends. It's that basically your area of interest is changing a lot from whatever moves your friends.
Yeah.
So they will be speaking probably about their wives, their kids, or not even their jobs. They don't care that much about that, but about football or whatever. And then you're thinking about the next bull market because like there's a new startup. And then you talk to them and it's worrying because like you have so many things in common that it gets crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So having someone you can speak about all of these things that went through before you.